Hello dear friends, welcome to another lecture of Strength of Materials. Now in today's lecture we are going to talk about how to calculate shear stresses in beams. There are two stresses developed in the cross section of the beam. Due to shear force there is shear stress and due to bending moment there is bending stress. Now in the past two lectures we have already covered how to calculate bending stresses in beams. In today's lecture we are going to cover how to calculate the shear stresses in beams. Okay, and once the shear stresses in beams ends, then we will start a very interesting and very most important topic related to beams, and that is deflection of beams, how to calculate slope and deflection of beams. So be there till the end of this video. Those of you who are watching me for the first time, let me introduce myself. My name is Aprup Rao, MTech from IIT Kharagpur. My specialization was mechanical systems design. Then I was recruited from campus by Mahindra and Mahindra automotive sector. I worked there for 2 years in the research and development center. Then I always had a passion for teaching, so I quit my job and I started teaching. So I've been teaching for more than 6 years. I've taught thousands of students preparing for GATE, engineering services, any competitive exams. Okay, and I teach subjects related to design, strength of material, engineering mechanics, machine design, theory of machine. So you can see my love for design. Since my MTech till now, I've always been associated with design, and I guarantee you, if you keep watching my videos regularly, you will fall in love with design. Your basic concepts related to all the subjects of design will be crystal clear, my friends. Okay, now on our YouTube channel Unacademy Gate ME, we have been posting live video lectures, live lectures of all the subjects related to mechanical engineering and civil engineering, technical subject, non-technical subject. We are covering everything. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the notification of all our live video lectures. We have already been posting many videos. We are going to post a lot of videos in the future also. So please subscribe to our channel Unacademy Gate ME. This is dedicated to mechanical and civil engineers who are preparing for any competitive exam, GATE, engineering services, SSC, IPET, any exam. Okay, so don't forget to press the bell icon, then only you will get the notification and you will never miss a video. Okay, apart from that, there is a link of our Telegram channel in the description of the video. In the description of the video there is a link of Telegram channel. Please click on that link, and get added to that. Follow that channel. We will post all the PDF, all the material related to our videos on that channel. Okay, so don't forget to follow our Telegram channel Unacademy Gate ESC MEC. Okay, follow that channel and you will get the PDF related to all our video lectures. Okay, apart from that, if you want to learn more from me and the best educators of India, top educators of India, then subscribe to Unacademy Plus. Unacademy Plus, my friend, is India's biggest online platform where top educators of India, all the top educators of India are taking live online classes, my friend. So if you want to learn more and more from us, if you want that classroom coaching experience, then subscribe to Unacademy Plus. 1 year subscription will only cost you, my friend, 25,000 rupees, which if you compare it with any classroom coaching, it is very cheap. It is very less costly. So please subscribe to Unacademy Plus and don't forget to use my referral code Aprup10. Don't forget to use this referral code. What you will get, my friend? You will get a 10% discount, and I will also get something in return. I will get a good feedback from you that you are joining, you are watching my YouTube videos. So that will give me a very good feedback. Okay, so don't forget to use this referral code Aprup10 if you are thinking of taking the subscription of Unacademy Plus. There are different subscription: 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 year. 1 year and 2 year subscription will cost very less, and if you use my coupon code, you will get a 10% discount also. Okay, so that was all about Unacademy Plus. Let's move on to our today's video. So we have been calculating bending stresses in beams since past two lectures. Today we are going to calculate shear stress in beams. Today we are going to calculate shear stress in beams. And why shear stresses are developed? Due to shear force. Why shear stresses are developed? Due to shear force. Let's consider a cantilever beam. Okay, let's consider a cantilever beam. Let's say this is a cantilever beam subjected to a point load. Okay, consider any plane of the beam. Consider any plane of the beam. Let's say this is a cantilever beam. I have fixed this here and I am applying a force here. Consider any cross section. Any cross section, you will see that this force is acting parallel to that cross section, right? And if this force is acting parallel to cross section, which stress will be developed, my friend? Shear stress, right? If the force is acting normal, there will be normal stress, axial stress, and if the force is acting parallel, there will be shear stress, right? So let's say that the shear force, is equal to S, okay, maximum shear force, because we have to calculate maximum shear stress. So maximum shear force, let's say, is S, okay. Now usually what do? Usually we calculate the stress using this equation, force upon area, right? Shear force divided by area. But if you use that equation, you will not get the actual stress. You will only get an average value of shear stress. So this is known as what? Tau average. Okay, note this down also. This is also very important. We are going to use this relation. So what is tau average? In any cross section, tau average will be force upon area. Let's say the cross section is circle. What will be area? Pi by 4 d square. Let's say cross section is rectangular. What will be area? B into height. What? Let's say the cross section is triangle. What will be area? Half into base into height. So any cross section, for any cross section, you can calculate tau average using shear force divided by area of the cross section. Okay, but this will only give you what? An average value. Okay, it will not give you the actual value. The actual value of stress is different. The actual value of stress is different. Let me tell you how we can calculate the actual value. Okay, so the actual value we can calculate using this equation. Okay, I hope you have noted this down. Tau average. Okay, I will give you the actual value of shear stress. So let's say that this is the cross section. Okay, let's say this is the cross section of the beam. Let's say this is the cross section of the beam. Let's say it has width B, height H. Okay, let's say I want to calculate the stress on this layer. Okay, any point on this layer. See, bending stresses are different at different layers, right? Bending stresses are maximum at top layer and bottom layer. They are minimum at the neutral axis, right? This is the neutral axis. So bending stresses are maximum at top layer and bottom layer, zero at neutral axis. But shear stresses will be different. Okay, so let's say shear stresses, let's say we have to calculate the shear stress on this layer. Okay, this is the cross section. I am calculating shear stress on this layer. So what will be the shear stress on layer XX? So shear stress at layer XX can be given by this relation, my friend. Tau equals to S into AY bar divided by IB. Note this relation down. Note this relation down. Then we will talk about what are the things in this equation. Okay. So tau at any layer XX. On this layer XX, tau will be equal to S AY bar divided by IB. Okay. Now, what is S? S is the maximum shear force. Okay. S is the maximum shear force. So whenever you calculate bending stress, what do you calculate? You calculate maximum bending moment. So if you want to calculate shear stress, what you will calculate? You will calculate maximum shear force. Okay. So let's say maximum shear force is S. What is I? I is the moment of inertia of this cross section. Okay. Just like bending stress. For example, if it is a rectangle, what will be moment of inertia? BH cube by 12. It is a circle, then moment of inertia pi by 64 d to the power 4. Okay. So I is the moment of inertia. S is the maximum shear force. What is B, my friend? What is B? B is the width of layer XX. B is the width of layer XX. B is not the width of cross section. Remember this. B is not the width of cross section. B is the width of this layer. Okay. In case of rectangle, the width of all the layer is same. In case of rectangle, width of all the layer is same. But in case of, let's say, triangle, let's consider a triangle. So in case of triangle, the width of base is maximum. But if you consider this layer will have a different width. this layer will have a different width, this layer will have a different width. So in this case, what will be the value of B? It will not be this. Okay, the value of B will not be this. If you are calculating stress at this layer, then you will calculate the width of, then you will consider the width of this layer. If you are calculating the stress at this layer, then you will consider the width of this layer. In circle also, the width at the center will be, diameter. But if you are calculating stress here or here, then the width will be different. Okay. So what is B? B is not the width of cross section. B is the width of layer where you are calculating stress. In case of rectangle or square, the width of all the layer is same. But in case of circle, in case of triangle, it will be different. Okay. Now, the most important thing in this equation, the most important parameter, you have understood what is S, what is I, what is B. Now let's calculate, now let's consider what is AY bar. So what is AY bar? This is very important. Okay. So what is AY bar? AY bar is first moment of area. First moment of area above or below XX about neutral axis. Okay, understand the meaning of this sentence. First moment of area. What do we mean by first moment of area? Just like moment of force. What is moment of force? Force into distance. So what is moment of area? Area into distance. Okay. So first moment of area means area into distance. Area into distance above or below XX. Which area? Above or below XX. Let's say you are calculating stress at XX. So which area you have to consider? You have to consider this area above XX. Let's say you are calculating stress at this layer. Then which area will you consider? Below this area. Okay. So what is area? Area is, A is the area above XX or below XX. Both will be equal. Why? Because above neutral axis it will be positive and below neutral axis it will be negative. Okay. So if you add these total area, it will give you the same area above XX. Okay. So XX, this is the layer where you are calculating tau. Area will be above this layer. Okay. So A is the area above XX, and what is Y bar, my friend? You have to calculate the moment of this area. Okay. How do we calculate moment of area? You consider the distance from the centroid of the area. Okay. So what will be Y bar? Let's say this is the centroid of this area, not the total area. Centroid of this area, the hatched area. So Y bar will be distance from this centroid to neutral axis. This will be Y bar. Okay. So AY bar means this area multiplied by Y bar. Which area, my friend? Area above XX or below XX. So do you understand the meaning of all these parameters? Tau equals to S into AY bar by IB. What is S? It is the shear force, maximum shear force. Okay. I, moment of inertia of the cross section about neutral axis. For rectangle, BH cube by 12. For circle, pi by 64 d to the power 4. So I is the same I that we use in bending stress also. What is B? Width of layer XX. Wherever you are calculating stress, width of that layer. Okay. And what is AY bar? What is AY bar? This is the most important thing. What is AY bar? AY bar is first moment of area above XX or below XX about the neutral axis. Okay. Let's say you are calculating tau at the top layer. Let's say you are calculating tau at the top layer. So what is the area above top layer? What is the area above top layer, my friend? There is nothing above top layer. There is nothing above top layer. So what will be tau at the top? 0, my friend. What is below bottom layer? What is below bottom layer? What is the area below bottom layer? Nothing. So what will be tau at the bottom layer? 0, my friend. So tau at the top will be 0 and tau at the bottom will be 0. Remember this, bending stress is maximum at top and bottom. Bending stress is maximum at top and bottom. But shear stress is minimum at top and bottom. Shear stress is 0 at top and bottom for all cross section. Okay. So what will be the shear stress distribution, my friend? Shear stress at top will be 0 and shear stress at bottom will be 0. And somewhere between top and bottom, this will be maximum. Here in this case, it is maximum at neutral axis. Okay, so you will get a distribution like this. It is a parabolic distribution, my friend. The distribution of bending stress, variation of bending stress is linear, but variation of shear stress is parabolic. Remember this. You will get a theory question. You will get a theory question. Remember this. The equation of this curve is parabolic. Okay, this equation tau equals to SAY by IB. This equation is parabolic equation. You will get a parabola like this. Okay, you will get a parabola. This is a parabola, my friend. Okay, so equation of bending stress sigma equals to my by I. That equation is linear. You get a linear distribution like this. But here what you are getting, a parabolic distribution. Tau at top will be 0, tau at bottom will be 0, and tau between top and bottom will be maximum, and from top to bottom distribution will be parabolic, my friend. Okay, so this is the shear stress in beam. Remember this. This is the shear stress in beam. So whenever you have to calculate the shear stress in beam, you can use this equation, tau equals to SAY bar divided by IB, my friend. Okay, so have you understood this equation? Have you understood this equation? All right, so moving on to the next topic, and the next topic is the most important topic. The next topic is the most important topic, shear stress distribution. We will now see shear stress distribution. Now what do I mean by shear stress distribution, my friend? See, here you know that shear stress at top and bottom is 0, and somewhere between top and bottom it is maximum. So we have to find now where tau will be maximum, exactly at which point tau will be maximum, what will be the maximum value of tau. Okay, so now we will see shear stress distribution. This diagram, shear stress, how the shear stress varies, where it is 0, where it is maximum. We will see this diagram for different cross section. We have different cross section, rectangle, circle, triangle, I section, T section. So for every cross section we will see how the shear stress is distributed. Okay, so first of all we will consider the most important section, rectangular section. Why it is most important? Because maximum questions in your book will be from this section. Okay, if you buy a previous year question book, previous year GATE, previous year engineering services, any question book, then you will see maximum questions are from rectangular section. So let's consider a rectangular section. Okay, let's say we have a rectangular section. Let's say we have a rectangular section. The width of this section is B and the height is H. So this will be H by 2. This is the neutral axis. Okay, this is the neutral axis. It will pass through the center. So this will be H by 2. This will be H by 2. Okay, so this is the cross section. We have to find out how the shear stress will be distributed in this section. Okay, all right. So this is the cross section. Let's say you are calculating the stress at this layer. Let's say you are calculating the stress at this layer. This layer is at a distance y from neutral axis. Okay, let's say this distance is y. Now, in order to calculate tau, what do you need? AY bar. You need AY bar, right? So what will be the area, my friend? Width will be B. Width will be B. Area, we need to calculate this area, hashed area. So width will be B and height will be, this height will be how much? This is H by 2, this is Y. This is H by 2, this is Y. So what will be this height, my friend? H by 2 minus Y, right? So what will be area? Area will be H by 2 minus Y. What will be Y bar, my friend? What will be Y bar? Y bar means we have to find the distance of centroid of this area, hashed area, from neutral axis. This is Y bar, right? So what will be Y bar, my friend? Y, right? Y plus, what will be this height? This height is H by 2 minus Y. So this height will be half of H by 2 minus Y. This height will be half of H by 2 minus Y, right? This total height is H by 2 minus Y. So this will be from center to this H by half of H by 2 minus Y plus Y will give you Y bar. Okay. And if you solve this, you will get this half of H by 2 plus Y. So this is your area, H by 2 minus Y. This is your Y bar, half of H by 2 plus Y. Okay. Now we will calculate equation of tau. So what is tau? S into AY bar. What is your area? H by 2 minus y. What is your y bar? Half of h by 2 plus y divided by ib. This is SA y bar divided by ib. What is I? Moment of inertia of complete cross section. So it will be bh cube by 12 multiplied by b. So this is the equation of tau on this layer, okay. I have calculated the equation of tau on this layer. Now solve this equation. What you will get? Solve this equation, my friend. Solve this equation. So this S into AY bar divided by I into B. Okay. I have calculated this. This should be B into H by 2 minus Y. Sorry. This will be width into height, right? Sorry. So sorry for the blunder. This was height multiplied by width. So area will be B into H by 2 minus Y. So this B and this B will be cancelled. What will you get, my friend? What will you get? 12 will go up, 2 will come down. So it will become 6S divided by BH cube. Now A plus B, A minus B. This is A plus B, A minus B. What will you get? A square minus B square. So it will become H square by 4 minus Y square. This is the equation of tau, my friend. This is the equation of tau with respect to Y. This is the equation of tau with respect to Y. Using this equation, you can find out tau at any value of Y. Using this equation, you can find out tau at any value of Y. What is Y, my friend? Distance from neutral axis. Y is distance from neutral axis. So at any distance from neutral axis, any value of Y, you can calculate tau using this equation. This is for rectangle, my friend. Okay, look at this. This equation is a parabolic equation, y square. So tau varies parabolically. Okay, so I derived the equation of tau for rectangle. Now let's have a look of the diagram. Okay. So what will be tau at top? At top, y will be h by 2 plus h by 2. Put y equals to plus h by 2. What you will get? 0 you will get. Okay. And what will be tau at the bottom? Put y equals to minus h by 2. Again you will get 0. For positive value and negative value, you will get the same thing. This is a symmetric equation. Okay. And at y equals to 0, at the neutral axis, tau will be maximum, my friend. So you will get this diagram, my friend. You will get this diagram. Now what will be the value of tau maximum? At y equals to 0, tau will be maximum. Put the value of y equals to 0. What you will get? 6s by bh cube, h square by 4 minus 0. So what will you get, my friend? Tau max will become, this will become 3 by 2 into s upon this h square, and this will cancel bh. 3 by 2 into s by bh. This is your tau maximum. Now what is bh, my friend? What is bh, my friend? B into h is the area. B into h is the area. So it is shear force divided by area. And I told you in the beginning, what is force upon area? It is tau average, my friend. Force upon area will give you average value of tau. So for rectangle, you are getting tau maximum equals to 3 by 2 times of tau average. Okay. So this is the relation between tau max and tau average for a rectangular section. This is very, very, very important relation, because you will get direct theory question from this relation. You will get a lot of theory question. What is the ratio of tau maximum and tau average for rectangular section? Okay. So what is the ratio of tau max and tau average for rectangular section? It is 3 by 2, my friend. Okay. So remember this. The ratio of tau max and tau average for rectangular section will be 3 by 2. So this is the shear stress distribution in rectangular section. Okay. Now, we don't have to repeat this procedure for every section. We don't have to derive this equation for every section. This equation will be of no use. Okay. You don't have to remember this relation. You don't have to remember this equation. What you have to remember, you only have to remember two things. For every section, you have to remember two things. First, this diagram. How this diagram will be plotted for every section. For rectangle, circle, I section, T section. how this diagram will be plotted, how this diagram will look, because you will get questions based on this diagram. Okay, so this is the first thing that you have to remember. The second thing, this relation, okay, tau max and tau average relation. So this diagram you have to remember, and this relation also you have to remember. You can use this relation in numericals also. Let's say I give you a rectangular section and I ask you what is tau maximum. Okay, I ask you what is tau maximum. So you don't have to use this relation. You don't have to use this relation. Tau equals to SA y bar divided by IB. You don't have to use this. Why? Because you know that tau maximum for rectangle will be 3 by 2 times of tau average, and you know what will be tau average. For every section, what will be tau average? Force upon area. Very simple, very simple. Tau average will be force upon area. So just put the value of tau average, force upon area, and you will get tau maximum. So you don't have to use this relation. You will never have to use this relation if you remember this relation. Just put the value of tau average, force upon area, and you will get tau maximum. Okay, we will solve numericals using this relation. So there you will see how amazing this relation is. Okay, how easily you will get the value of tau maximum using these relation. Okay, so this was the first cross section. For every cross section, we will not derive the equation. We will see two things only, this diagram and this relation. Otherwise it will be a waste of time. If I start deriving the equation for every section, it will just be a waste of time, because we don't need that relation. What relation we derive? We don't need that relation. We just need this diagram and this relation. Okay, so I will tell you what will be the diagram for every section and what will be this relation for every section, and you have to remember that. You have to remember these things, because the theory question will be from that, and you will also get numericals. From this relation you can use, you can calculate the tau maximum. Okay, all right. Now the second most important section after rectangle, maximum question will be from circular section. After rectangular section you will see maximum questions are from circular section, my friend. Okay, so let's see how the circular section, how the diagram for circular section is drawn. I will tell you the diagram and the relation for every section, every possible section. Okay, let's say we have a circular section like this. This is the neutral axis. Okay, let's say the diameter is d. So this will be what? D by 2, and this will be what? D by 2. Try to draw this with me. Okay, try to draw this with me. Okay, even if you know these things, try to draw it. It will revise your concept and you will be able to memorize it properly. Okay, so try to draw it. This is a circular section. What will be the diagram in this case? Okay, what will be the diagram in this case? At top and bottom, tau will be always 0. For any section, tau will be 0 at the top and bottom. Why? Because I told you, tau equals to S into AY bar by IB. What will be the area above top layer? 0. What will be the area below bottom layer? 0. So tau will be 0 at top, tau will be 0 at bottom for every section. Okay, and for every section this diagram will be parabolic. Okay, it will be like this. Look at this diagram. If the cross section is symmetric, this diagram will also be symmetric. If the cross section is not symmetric, diagram will also be not symmetric. Symmetric means equal diagram, same diagram above center and below center. Same diagram above center and below center. Why you are getting the symmetric diagram? Because the cross section is symmetric. Rectangle was also symmetric, circle is also symmetric. You are getting a symmetric diagram. Where you will get tau maximum in this case? In this case also, tau maximum will be at the neutral axis. In this case also, tau will be maximum at neutral axis. Okay, tau will be maximum where? Neutral axis. Tau will be maximum here at neutral axis, but the relation will be different. For this section, the relation between tau max and tau average will be this. Tau maximum will be 4 by 3 times of tau average. Remember this. For rectangular section, tau maximum is 3 by 2 times of tau average. For circular section, it is 4 by 3 times of tau average. Okay, what will be tau average? Force upon area. Area of circle, pi by 4 d square. Okay, so remember this. Draw this in your notebook and remember this. You have to remember these two diagrams, my friend. You have to remember these two diagrams. You have to remember this diagram and you have to remember this relation also. Okay, all right. So this was for circular section. This was for circular section. Moving on. Now we have to see what will be the diagram for triangular section. Let's move on. Let's see what will be the diagram for triangular section, my friend. Okay. All right. So you will see a lot of questions from triangular section also. Triangular section. Let's consider this triangular section. Let's consider this triangular section. Let's say the base is B, height is H. Now in this case, neutral axis is not at the center because the centroid of triangle is not at the center. Okay. Neutral axis will be at h by 3 from base and 2h by 3 from top. Okay. For this triangular section, neutral axis will be at h by 3 from base and 2h by 3 from top. At top and bottom, tau will be 0, my friend. At top and bottom, tau will be 0. Okay. In this case, tau will not be maximum at the neutral axis. In this case, tau will not be maximum at neutral axis. In this case, you will get a different value at neutral axis. Okay. So in this case, tau will be maximum at the center. H by 2. Tau will be maximum at the center, and at neutral axis you will get a different value. So here you have two relation. In case of triangular section, you will have to remember two relation. Tau maximum will be 3 by 2 times of tau average, means 1.5 times of tau average, and tau at neutral axis means here tau at neutral axis will be 4 by 3 times of tau average, my friend. Okay, so you have two relations here. One is between tau max and tau average, and one is between neutral axis, tau at neutral axis and tau average. Okay, so you have two relation in this case. So you have to memorize both these relation. You will get numericals from both these relation. Okay, so memorize both these relation. Okay, so this is for triangular section. Memorize this diagram. Memorize this diagram. And memorize these two relation. Okay, you will get numerical from both of these relations. Okay, you will also get theory question. So remember this for a triangular section. Okay, all right. So we have seen this diagram for rectangular section, circular section, and triangular section. Moving on, the fourth section that we will consider. The fourth section that we will consider is known as a diamond section. Now, what is a diamond section, my friend? You will not see this diagram in a lot of books. You will rarely see questions from diamond section. Rarely. Okay. So there are not a lot of questions from diamond section. Rarely 1 or 2 questions will be there from this section. Okay. So it is not a very popular section. So diamond section means, let's say you have a square. Okay, let's say this is a square and this is the diagonal. Okay, let's make this diagonal horizontal or vertical. So this will become a diamond section. Okay, so the diagonal of the square has become horizontal. This is the diagonal. So it has become horizontal. So now this has become a diamond section. Let's say this is A, this is A, this is A, this is A. Let's say the total height will be H. So what will be this? H by 2. This will also be H by 2. This is a symmetric section. So diagram will also be symmetric. Okay. So this is a diamond section. You will see 1 or 2 questions from diamond section in your workbook. Okay. In your previous year question book, you will see 1 or 2 questions. So that's why I am telling you about diamond section also. Okay. Now in case of diamond section, the diagram is typical. Okay, so this will be the diagram, my friend. This will be the diagram for diamond section. For diamond section, this will be the diagram. It will be symmetric. Now you can see that here also tau will not be maximum at neutral axis. Here also tau will not be maximum at neutral axis. Here, this tau will be maximum at 3h by 8 from top or 3h by 8 from bottom. This distance will be how much? H by 8. This also h by 8. Okay, so this is the diagram, my friend. This is the diagram. Note this diagram. It will not be, tau will not be maximum at neutral axis. Tau will be maximum at 3h by 8 from top and bottom. Now here also you will have two relation. You will have to remember two relation for diamond section also. Tau maximum for diamond section. For diamond section, tau maximum will be 9 by 8 times of tau average. Tau maximum will be 9 by 8 times of tau average, and tau at neutral axis will be equal to tau average. Tau at neutral axis will be equal to tau average. Okay, so these are the two relations that you have to remember. You have to remember this diagram. Where will you get tau maximum? And you have to remember these two relations. Tau maximum will be 9 by 8 times of tau average, and tau at neutral axis will be equal to tau average. What is tau average? Force upon area. For every section, tau average will be force upon area, my friend. Okay, so this is the diagram for diamond section. Note this diagram. Remember these relation. Note this diagram. Remember these relation, my friend. Okay, so these are the relation. This is the relation for diamond section. Moving on to the next topic. This is diamond section. Moving on to the next topic. Now we will consider an I section, my friend. Very important, very important. I section, I section. For a beam, this is a very important section. Okay, so the fifth section that we will consider is I section. We have seen rectangle, we have seen circle, we have seen triangle, we have seen diamond. This is I section, very important. And I am considering a symmetric I section. Okay, I am considering a symmetric I section. So let's say this is an I section. Let's say this is an I section. I section is a very important cross section, my friend. Okay, as far as the beams are concerned, because moment of inertia of I section is maximum. So it is very good for resisting bending moment. Okay. All right. Now this is an symmetric I section. Neutral axis will be at the center. Okay, this is a symmetric I section. Neutral axis will be at the center, my friend. Okay, now this part is known as flange. This horizontal part is known as flange, and this vertical part is known as web, my friend. Okay, remember this. Civil engineers also already know this, but usually mechanical engineers do not know this. So this part, horizontal part, is flange, and this part is known as web. Okay, now in case of I section, the diagram will be a little different. Okay, diagram will be a little different. Let's see what will be the diagram. Okay, so at top and bottom, tau will be 0. At top and bottom, tau will be 0, and at neutral axis, tau will be maximum. At neutral axis means at the center, tau will be maximum. Now if you draw the diagram from top to bottom, what you will get? From top, if you start moving downwards, your AY bar will start to increase. Here AY bar will be 0. Here AY bar will be something, and here AY bar will be increased. So AY bar will start to increase, so your tau will start to increase. Okay. Now look at these layers. Look at these layers. Let's consider these two layers. This is one layer. This is a web. Okay. So this is one layer XX. This is another layer YY. If you attach these two, this is YY, right? This is XX layer. This layer is XX layer, and this layer is YY layer. Both layers are touching each other, but there is a difference. Both layer will have same AY bar. For XX also, AY bar will be this much, and for YY also, AY bar will be this much. But the width of both the layers will be different. For the flange, let's say the width is this, BF, and for the web, let's say it is BW. So you can see that if you start moving from top to bottom, when you will reach this layer, the width will suddenly decrease. The width is suddenly decreasing. From BF to BW, the width will suddenly decrease. Now what is tau? What is tau, my friend? S into AY bar divided by IB. So if width decreases, tau increases, right? So if width will suddenly decrease, tau will suddenly increase. Tau will suddenly increase. So this will be tau of flange, which was less. But then when you came on this layer, the width suddenly reduced, so tau suddenly increased. So this will be tau of web. Okay, so you can see at the same layer, at the same height, we are getting two values of tau, tau of flange and tau of web. Now if you draw the diagram, again it will start to increase. It will become maximum at neutral axis. Okay, it will become maximum at neutral axis, then it will decrease, then it will suddenly reduce, then it will be here. It will be symmetric. Diagram will be symmetric. Okay, so this is the diagram of tau for I section, my friend. Okay, very important diagram. Okay, very important diagram. Okay, so where are you getting maximum tau? At the neutral axis. But this is very important. This is very important. At this junction, this is known as junction, where the web and flange meet each other. This is known as junction. This is the layer where both are touching. Web and flange are touching. So tau of web and tau of flange, these are suddenly changing. Okay, now there is a relation between these two. What will be the relation? Tau is inversely proportional to B. So this is the relation between tau of web and tau of flange at the junction. So at the junction, this relation is only valid at the junction. Okay, so at the junction, tau of web divided by tau of flange will be equal to B of flange divided by B of web. Okay, it will be inverse. Tau of web by tau of flange will be B of flange by B of web. Inverse. Okay, so note this diagram. You will get numerical from this relation also. Okay, this is a relation at the junction. At the junction, tau of web divided by tau of flange equals to B of flange divided by B of web. Okay, so this relation can be used to calculate tau of flange if your tau of web is given, or if tau of web is given, you can calculate tau of flange. You only need one of these. You can calculate the other one using this relation. Okay, and you will see a numerical. There is a numerical on the same concept. You will see in previous year question a numerical from the same concept. Okay, so this is the concept of I section, my friend. A very important concept. Very important concept. Okay, all right. Now moving on to next section, T section. T section, and T section is not a symmetric section. T section is not a symmetric section, so the diagram is also not symmetric. Diagram is also not symmetric. So we will move on to the next section, T section, my friend. Okay, so this is T section. This is T section. Okay, neutral axis will not be at the center. Neutral axis will be closer to flange, right? This is the centroid. Neutral axis will be closer to flange. Now, if you draw the shear force, shear stress distribution for this, what you will get? At top and bottom, the values will be 0. For every section, at top and bottom, value will be 0. If you start going down, tau will start to increase, and when you will reach this, suddenly it will increase like this. Same as I section. Okay, then it will again increase. It will become maximum at the neutral axis, and then it will start to decrease. Okay, so this is the diagram for T section. Unsymmetric diagram. You can see unsymmetric diagram. This will be tau of flange. This will be tau of web. Same. Just like I section. Okay, here also it will suddenly change. When you will reach here, it will suddenly change. Okay, so this is the diagram for T section. Now my friend, there is no relation between tau maximum and tau average for I section and T section. Okay, you will not have a relation. For rectangle we had tau max equals to 3 by 2 times of tau average. For circle, tau max equals to 4 by 3 times of tau average. But you will not get that relation for I section and T section. Okay, why can't we derive it? Because there are too many dimensions. In case of rectangle, there is only 2 dimensions, width and height. For circle, there is only 1 dimension, diameter. But here you can see a lot of dimension. This width, this height, this width, this height. So too many dimensions. So that's why we don't get a direct relation. Okay, but we have to know this diagram. Okay, we don't have direct relation to calculate tau max, but you have to remember this diagram. Okay, all right. Now moving on. Another section, very important section, because you will see a question from this section also. Plus section or H section. Okay, plus section or H section. So the diagram of plus section and H section are similar and they are very interesting. What is different between this section and earlier section, I section, T section, and this section? What is the difference? The difference, my friend, is in case of I section and T section, the flange is kept at top and bottom, right? In case of I and T, the flange is at the top and bottom, but here the flange is at the center. Okay, so it is not very strong section. If you have a flange, always keep it at the top or bottom. It increases moment of inertia. What is moment of inertia? Area into distance square. So your maximum area should be at maximum distance. Here your maximum area is near the neutral axis. Okay, the distance of this maximum area is less. In case of I section, distance of maximum area is more. So moment of inertia of I section is very high. Moment of inertia of this section is very less. Okay, because maximum area is close to neutral axis. Maximum area should be away from neutral axis. Then your moment of inertia will increase. Okay, so this section is not a very good section. Okay, now let's draw the diagram. Okay, so see the diagram, how the diagram will be drawn. Here also the shear stress will first increase, and then when you will reach here at the junction, it will suddenly reduce. Okay, at the junction it will suddenly reduce, and then again it will increase, then it will reduce, and you will get a diagram like this. Okay, you will get a diagram like this. This is the diagram for what? Plus section or H section. Okay, here you can see at the junction it is suddenly changing. Okay, so this is the diagram for H section or plus section, my friend. Okay, so you will get theory question. You will get theory question from this. There is a question in previous year question of GATE. You will get a question on this diagram also. Okay, so remember this diagram. Okay, remember this diagram. So I have told you what will be the shear stress distribution for different section. Okay, so all these diagrams that you have to remember, and you also have to remember the relation between tau maximum and tau average. Okay, that is also very important. Okay, so you have to remember that relation also. All right, so moving on. Now we will solve some numericals. Based on shear stress distribution. Okay, so let's solve some numerical. Now the first numerical will be on rectangular section. Okay, this is the first numerical. Note this down. You have to solve it on your own. Okay, keep your calculators close. Okay, you have to solve these numericals with me. Okay, don't think that I will tell you the numerical, I will tell you everything. You have to solve it with me. Okay, all right. So let's say you have a rectangular section. Let's say you have a rectangular section. Width is 100 mm, height is 300 mm. Okay, maximum shear force is given. Maximum shear force is 150 kilonewton. You have to calculate tau maximum. Calculate tau maximum for this. Calculate tau maximum. I have given you the section 100 mm by 300 mm. Shear force is 150 kilonewton. Tell me what will be tau maximum. Tell me. I told you, for solving this problem, you don't have to put the equation of tau, SA y bar by IB. You just have to use the relation between tau maximum and tau average. So use that relation and tell me what will be tau maximum. So what is the relation, my friend? For rectangle, tau maximum is 3 by 2 or 1.5 times tau average. Now what will be tau average? Force upon area. What is the force? 150 kilonewton. Convert it into Newton. What is the area? 100 mm into 300 mm. So from here you can easily calculate tau maximum. From here you can easily calculate tau maximum. What will be tau maximum, my friend? Here you will get 7.5 megapascal. So tau maximum in this case is 7.5 megapascal, my friend. Very easy question, very easy question. You don't even have to use tau max equals to SA y bar by IB. You just use this relation. So that's why I told you, you have to memorize this relation between tau max and tau average. You can use it in numericals also. So see, I did not use tau equals to SA y bar by IB. I got the tau maximum directly from this relation. So do you see how amazing this relation is? So remember this relation, okay? Now, let's say I am asking you to calculate tau at a distance y equals to 50. Let's say I am asking you calculate tau here, y equals to 50 mm. Can you do it, my friend? Can you do it? Can you do it? Can you tell me what will be tau on this layer? Now for this problem, you have to use the relation tau equals to SA y bar by IB. Okay. So now I have changed the question. Everything is same, but this time you don't have to calculate tau maximum. This time you have to calculate tau on this layer, y equals to 50 mm. Okay. So how will we calculate this tau? We will use this relation. Tau equals to SA y bar divided by IB. For this equation, for this question, you have to use this relation. Okay. Now, shear force we know 150 kilonewton. I will be BH cube by 12. What will be the width? Here the width for every layer is same, 100 mm. Now we have to find A and Y bar. So what was this height? Total height was 300. So this will be half of 300, 150. Okay. This is 50. So what will be the height of this area? Height of this area will be 100. Okay. What will be the Y bar, my friend? What will be the Y bar? What will be Y bar? Y bar means distance of centroid from neutral axis. So what will be this distance, my friend? What will be this distance? 50 plus 50. This height, this distance will also be 50. So Y bar will also be 100. Okay. So put the values in this equation. What is S? 150 kilonewton. What is area? 100 by 100. Area means this hatched area. Okay. This hatch area. Area above 50 mm. Hatch area. Okay. Y bar is also 100 mm. Y bar will also be 100 mm divided by I. What will be I? BH cube by 12. So it will be 100 into 300 cube by 12. Moment of inertia you have to put for the entire area. Okay. So BH cube by 12 into B. What will be the width? 100. So what will be the tau at this layer? Tau at this layer. Tell me what will be the tau at this layer. Tell me. Calculate it. Okay. I will also calculate it in my calculator. You also calculate it. So tell me what will be the tau. So 150 into 10 to the power 3 into 100 into 100 into 100 divided by BH cube by 12 into 100. So what you are getting, my friend? 6.67 tau at this distance y equals to 50 will be 6.67 megapascal. So maximum tau mean neutral axis tau will be 7.5 and above neutral axis at 50 mm tau will be 6.67 megapascal. So this is how you can calculate tau at any layer of the cross section. Okay, so do you understand how we can calculate tau at any layer? All right, let's solve some more numericals. Okay, so let's solve this numerical. Very interesting numerical. I am telling you, very interesting numerical, because most of the students make mistake in this numerical. Okay, the numerical that I am going to tell you, most of the students make mistake. I don't know why. It is a very simple problem, but most of the students make this mistake. Okay, let's say you have a simply supported beam subjected to UDL. Okay, you have a simply supported beam subjected to UDL. Let's say it is 10 kilonewton per meter. Okay, 10 meter length and 10 kilonewton per meter UDL. Cross section is triangle. This is the cross section. Cross section is triangle. What is the cross section, my friend? 50 mm and 100 mm. This is 50 and height is 100. Okay, and you have to calculate tau maximum. Okay, this is the beam, this is the cross section. Calculate tau maximum. Tell me what will be the tau maximum. Okay, let's see if you make the mistake or not. Okay, let's see. I told you most of the students make this mistake. Let's see if you make this mistake or not. Okay, you have to calculate tau maximum. Okay, the beam is simply supported, loading condition is given, cross section is given. Calculate what will be tau maximum. Now if you want to calculate tau maximum, okay, you don't have to use the relation SA y bar by IB. You can directly use the relation between tau max and tau average. What is the relation between tau max and tau average for triangle? For triangle, tau max is how much? For triangle, I gave you two relation, one for tau max and one for tau at neutral axis. You have to calculate tau max. What was the relation? Tell me. 3 by 2 times of tau average, right? This was the relation. So just put the value in this relation and tell me the answer. Tell me what will be tau maximum. Let's see if you make that mistake or not. Okay, let's see if you make that mistake. So what will be tau maximum? What will be tau maximum? Is it 60 megapascal? Is it 60 megapascal? Are you getting 60 megapascal? Are you getting 60 megapascal? If you are getting 60 megapascal, that means you are also making the same mistake. Okay, so let me tell you what will be the answer. Okay, first of all, you need to calculate the maximum shear force. If you want maximum tau, then you need maximum shear force. So this reaction, what will be the reaction, my friend? The force, total load, this is symmetric loading. I told you, in case of symmetric loading, reactions will be half of total load. So what will be total load? 100. So this will be 50 kilonewton. This will be 50 kilonewton. Now draw the shear force diagram, my friend. Draw the shear force diagram. Draw the shear force diagram for this beam. So here it will go from 0 to 50 kilonewton. Okay. Then this is a UDL. So it will come down straight line. This will be minus 50 kilonewton and then it will become 0. This is the shear force diagram, right? This is the shear force diagram. From this end to this bend, it will be linear. Okay. If you don't know how to draw the shear force diagram, watch my videos on shear force diagram. Okay. So this is the shear force diagram. What is maximum shear force? What is the maximum shear force in this diagram? Tell me what is maximum shear force. It is 50 kilonewton. So this is the mistake that most of the students make. What they do is they directly put shear force equal to 100. 10 into 10, 100. 10 into 10 is not shear force. It is the total load. Shear force is how much? Maximum shear force is only 50 kilonewton. Okay. So don't make this mistake. Don't make this mistake. Don't put shear force equal to 100. Maximum shear force will be only 50. So you have to draw this diagram and you have to see what is the maximum shear force. Now put the values. So what will be tau average? Force upon area. What is force? 50 kilonewton. What will be area of triangle? Half into base into height. So it will be half into base into height. So what will be tau maximum here? 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 Here if you calculate tau maximum, you will get 30 megapascal. So this is maximum shear stress. It will not be 60. People usually put 100 here. Shear force 100 kilonewton. That is not shear force, maximum shear force. What is maximum shear force? Only 50 kilonewton. So do you understand what mistakes people make? You can see that it is a very simple problem, but still people get confused because their concepts are not clear. Okay, so you have to clear your basic concept. If your basic concepts are clear, then you can solve any numerical. So that's why I tell you always first clear your concept, then you start solving the problem. Okay, what people usually do is they just read the formula, and they start solving the problem. Don't do that. All your basic concepts should be crystal clear. Otherwise, you will make these type of silly mistakes. You will know the formula, you will remember the formula, but you will put the wrong values in the formula. Why? Because your concepts are not clear. You have some doubt. Okay, so that's why I always suggest, don't start jumping into solving the problem. Don't jump into solving the problem. First, understand the basic formula. Okay, understand the basic concept. That's why whenever I start any topic, first I take too much time explaining the theory, then I start solving the problem. Why? Because I want you guys to understand the theory. I want you guys to understand the concept very clearly, and then when we will start solving the problem, you'll be easily able to solve this problem. Okay, all right. Now we will consider another problem. This time we will consider an I section. Usually we don't get too many problems of I section, but let me give you an example. This is a problem from gate. Okay, this is a problem from gate. So let's solve this problem. So this is from GATE 2013, civil engineering. Okay, usually I section, T section, civil engineers will see a lot of questions from I section and T section. That doesn't mean that if you are a mechanical engineer, you don't have to see this problem. Mechanical engineers also watch this problem, but I am telling you, if you are a civil engineer, this is very important. Okay, all right. So this is a symmetric I section. We have a symmetric I section. The dimensions of this section are given. Let's say this is 50 mm. These dimensions are given. Okay, these dimensions are given. This is 50 mm. This width is also 50 mm. This is 10 mm. This thickness is also 10 mm. Depth of web is given. Depth of total section is not given. Depth of web is given 100 mm, and this is 10 mm. Okay, so 100 mm is not the total depth. 100 mm is depth of web. Okay, so this is an I section. They are telling you that maximum shear force is 100 kilonewton. Maximum shear force is 100 kilonewton. And what you have to calculate? You have to calculate shear stress in web at the junction. Okay, understand it very clearly. What they are asking you to calculate: shear stress in the web. Shear stress in the web at the junction. So this is the junction and this is the web. So you have to calculate shear stress here in this layer. Okay, this is your layer. Okay, this is your layer. If they ask you to calculate shear stress in the flange, then this will be the layer. But they are asking you to calculate shear stress in the web, that this is the layer. Okay, so now what you have to do? Use this equation. Tau equals to S AY bar divided by IB, right? You have to use this relation. What will be S? 100 kilonewton. 100 kilonewton. What will be A? AY bar. In AY bar, area is what? Area above this layer, right? Area above this layer. So what will be the area above this layer? What will be this hashed area? 50 mm into 10 mm, right? 50 into 10. And what will be Y bar, my friend? Neutral axis will be at the center because this is a symmetric section. So neutral axis will be at the center. Okay. Y bar means distance from this center. Okay. So from here to here, this total height of web is 100. From here to here, it will be 50. and this height, what will be this height? This is thickness is 10, so this will be 5. So from here to here, this y bar will be how much? This y bar will be 55 mm. This y bar will be 55 mm. 55. Okay. From the center of this hashed area to neutral axis. So this distance is 50 and half of thickness 5. So 50 plus 5, 55 divided by I. Okay. I forgot to calculate the value of I. Let's calculate the value of I. I told you a very interesting equation to calculate the I of I section, moment of inertia of I section. So how you can calculate moment of inertia of I section? Capital BH cube by 12 minus small bh cube by 12. Capital B means total width. If you consider that this is a total rectangle, so total width will be 50. What will be total height? Height of web is 100 and these two thickness 10 mm, 10 mm. So total height will be 120 minus small b. What is small b? Total width minus this width. Small b means total width minus this width. So total width is 50 and this width is 10. So it will be 40 into height of this web, height of this blank space. So it will be 100. Small h means this height of web divided by 12. I told you, what do? We consider this as a total rectangle and then we subtract this blank space. So that's how we get this relation. Okay. So calculate what will be I. We need the value of I for this relation. So it will be 50 into 120 cube by 12 minus 40 into 100 cube by 12. So what you are getting, my friend? 3.866 into 10 to the power 6. I am getting this 3.866 into 10 to the power 6 mm to the power 4. This is the value of I. Okay. So just put the value here, 3.866 into 10 to the power 6 multiplied by width. So what is the width? Now which width you are going to use? Not the width of I section, width of the layer where you are calculating tau. So where we are calculating tau? We are calculating tau in the web. So we will put the width of web. If you are calculating tau at the flange, you will put the width of flange. We are calculating tau in the web and width of web is 10 mm. So we will put B 10 mm. Okay, so do you understand what is B? If you are calculating tau in the web, put the width of web. If you are calculating tau in the flange, put the width of flange. Now calculate, what will you get? Calculate this and tell me what will be the answer. Calculate this and tell me what will be the answer. 100 into 10 to the power 3 into 50 into 100 into 55 divided by I 3.866 into 10 to the power 6 into B. So you are getting how much? 71. One sec. 100 kilonewton multiplied by 50 into, this is 10. So this is 71.13 megapascal. Tau is 71.13 megapascal. So this is the tau in the junction in the web. This is the tau at the junction in the web. Tau at the junction in the flange. If you want to calculate tau in the flange, then you have to put the width of flange. What is the width of flange? 50. So if you put 50 here, everything else will remain same. You just have to change the width. You will get the tau at the junction in the flange, my friend. Okay. So this is a very important numerical from I section. Now let's solve another problem. Same problem, but this time let's say you have to calculate tau maximum. Okay. Let's say this time you have to calculate tau maximum. Let's calculate tau maximum. Okay. Let's calculate tau maximum. Same problem, everything is same, shear force will be same, I value will be same, everything will be same, but this time I am asking you to calculate tau maximum. Where will you get tau maximum? Where will you get tau maximum? You will get tau maximum at neutral axis. You will get tau maximum at neutral axis. Means you will get tau maximum here. You will get tau maximum here. So now you have to calculate tau at this layer. So you will consider the area above this layer, means this total area. Now you can't calculate AY bar of this total area directly. What you have to do, you have to consider this area and this area separately. Okay, area of this part and area of this part. We have to consider the total area above the layer. We have to calculate AY bar of total area. Okay, but we can't directly calculate it. Why? Because we don't know that where will you get the Y bar. Okay, so what we will do, we will separately calculate AY bar for this area and this area. Okay, so what you will get, AY bar. AY bar can be written as AY bar of 1 plus AY bar of 2. Okay, so calculate AY bar of 1. AY bar of 1 will remain same. We have already seen 50 into 10 and Y bar will be 55. We have already seen this in the last problem. 50 into 10 multiplied by 55. What will be AY bar of second area? So second area will be how much? This will be 50. Total height of web is 100. So this will be 50 into 10. This will be area 50 into 10. And what will be Y bar, my friend? For the second area, what will be Y bar? For the second area, centroid will be here. Half of this height. So what will be this? What will be this, my friend? This height is 50. So half of this height will be 25. So Y bar for this area, second area will be how much? 25, my friend. Y bar for second area will be 25. So this will be total AY bar. AY bar of first area plus AY bar of second area. Okay. Now calculate this value. What you will get? Calculate this value. Calculate this value, my friend. 50 into 10 into 55 plus 50 into 10 into 25. So you are getting 40,000. AY bar is how much? 40,000, my friend. AY bar is 40,000. Okay. Now put the value in the equation. What is the equation? Tau equals to SAY bar divided by IB. Right. This is the equation. So put the values here. What is the shear force? 100 kilonewton. Right. Shear force was 100 kilonewton. What is AY bar? 40,000. 40,000 divided by I will remain same, 3.866 into 10 to the power 6 into width. So which width? This width. This layer we are calculating tau at this layer. So width will be 10 mm. So what will be tau maximum, my friend? What will be tau maximum? Tell me. What will you get here? Tell me what will you get here. Let me calculate it in my calculator. You calculate it on your own. Calculate it and tell me what will be the answer. So 100 into 10 to the power 3. This is the shear force multiplied by 40,000 divided by 3.866 into 10 to the power 6 into width 10. So what you are getting, my friend? 103.4. You are getting 103.4, 103.46. This is tau maximum, 103.46 megapascal. So this will be maximum shear stress in this I section. Here at neutral axis you will get tau maximum. How much? 103.46 megapascal. Okay. So this is the calculation of tau maximum in I section. Okay. So you might get question on rectangle or circle or triangle or even I section. Okay. This is from GATE 2013. Okay. This is from GATE 2013. Okay. So we have solved all problems from shear stresses in beams. You will not get too many questions. In previous year question, you will not get too many questions from shear stresses. Okay. You will get some theory question, but numericals are not too much from this topic. Okay. So just remember the shear stress distribution diagram. Just remember that diagram and remember the relation between tau maximum and tau average. That is very important. Okay. So this is all about shear stresses in beams. We have seen the theory, we have seen numericals. So I have explained everything about shear stresses in beams. Okay. What we saw the formula, then we saw shear stress distribution diagrams, and then we saw numericals. Okay, so this was all about shear stresses in beams. Now, in the next lecture, we are going to start the most important concept related to beams. What is the most important topic? Deflection of beams. So in the next lecture, we will start deflection of beams. Okay, most of the students get confused in deflection of beams. Okay, but I will tell you the entire theory, the entire concept very clearly. Okay, so in the next lecture, we will see how to find slope and deflection of beams using different methods. We will use moment area method, we will use double integration method, we will solve the problems of using all different methods. Okay, and we will solve problems directly from gate. Okay, I will tell you what type of question you can get in deflection of beam, and I will tell you all the theory, all the concept that you need for deflection of beams. Okay, so don't forget to come tomorrow also at the same time, 3 p.m. And my friend, please hit the like button. Before going, hit the like button and share this video to as many students as possible. Okay, hit this like button, hit the like button and share this video to as many students as possible. Remember, sharing is caring, my friend. Sharing is caring. Okay, you have to share this video to as many students as possible because this is free education. Okay, this is free education. And if any of you want to subscribe to Unacademy Plus, because on YouTube we will not be able to cover everything. Okay, there will be something that we can't cover on YouTube. We can't take doubt sessions, that is not possible on YouTube. You can't post your question, you can't send us your question. So for that you have to subscribe Unacademy Plus. If you subscribe to Unacademy Plus, you can study everything from me, and you can take online lectures of all the faculties, not only from me, all the faculties. Okay, don't forget to use this referral code approved 10. Don't forget to use this referral code approved 10. Okay, all right, so that's it for today's lecture, my friend. I will meet you tomorrow, and tomorrow we are going to start what? Deflection of beams. Okay, don't forget to share this video to as many students as possible. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this video.